Well, hello there. You are listening to Nellyville, the podcast. And I'm Black. Hello, shalom. Welcome back to Nellyville, the podcast, the place to be. I hope you are having a wonderful summer. I hope you're having a great week. If not, hey, you know what? Look, it's never too late to turn it all around. Have a positive attitude, have a little tea, have some water, drink plenty of water. People are not drinking enough water. You know, water drinking gets trendy and then people fall off. And then it gets trendy again, and then you want to run out and fight people over Stanley Cup so you can drink your water. You know, look. Do what you got to do to stay afloat. Mind your business. Be well. But if you're having a good time, hey, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, so I have a little bit of, just some quick little topics I want to run through today. The girls are booked and busy, you know what I'm saying? But I enjoy these times that we get to spend together. So with all that being said, let's get right into the tea. Well, it's not tea, you know what I'm saying? It's just a little lukewarm, just a little something, So anyways, so the first thing I want to talk about is, okay, we are back on JoJo Siwa. Okay, I know I just talked about her, it seems like, a few episodes ago, but JoJo, I mean, she's out here doing JoJo things, so we got to talk about JoJo. We love JoJo, okay? So anyways, I don't know if you've heard, but she's recently, she put out a little cover song, okay? Betty Davis Eyes. We know Betty Davis Eyes. A couple of people have sung this song over the years, but it's pretty old. If you're not familiar, look it up, okay? So JoJo posts a video, and it's like a clip from the music video, right? And she's all dressed up in kind of like that, 1950s housewife type of tea, and you hear a little sample of the song that she's covered. Now, when I originally saw the clip, I thought, oh, okay, this is neat, really cool. I like that she's playing homage to like a throwback classic. This is definitely like a new look, but I knew it wasn't like her new look, that it was going to be all the time. Obviously, this was a look for like the music video. You know what I mean? I wasn't like jumping up and down. I wasn't like, oh, I gotta run out and cop that. You know what I'm saying? But, I was like, oh, this is cute. I like that she's pivoting. I like to see an artist explore their sound and just explore their creativity. Well, I apparently was in the minority on this. So people have just been dragging JoJo, which this is also nothing new. I don't understand why the little girl gets so much hate. I guess when you're super famous, I guess you gotta have the hate along with the praise. But it just seems like sometimes poor little JoJo gets more than her fair share of the bashing and of the tings. But she does have a pretty strong fan base, so I guess, you got to have both sides of the coin, right? But I was really surprised to see, like, people were really like, why is she saying it like that? And why does she look like that? This is so weird. Like people were, like, really upset over it. I thought that the girl sounded good. Now, does JoJo have Whitney Houston chops? Is she, like, the best singer of this generation? No, but I don't think that she's the worst. I think she's a great performer. I think she does really good with what she's got going on. I mean, Ashanti couldn't sing. We love her. But also, Ashanti or JoJo, neither one of them are out there saying, oh, I can sing anyone under the table. I think they both know. And I can name many other artists. Britney Spears. Okay. Huh? What? What was that? Sierra? Need I go on? There's plenty of people out here who can't sing, but they have great charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. Hello? So, I think that JoJo has a lane and she has mastered it. But I was just like, why are they so upset? Now, if you're not familiar with the Betty Davis Eyes song, go listen to JoJo's version. Go listen to the other previous versions of it. And even without hearing that, she's obviously singing in a kind of a more of a retro sound. You know, she's giving you like a Tina Turner, Rod Stewart, Miley Cyrus. She's giving you a rasp. She's giving you a Alanis Morissette. You know what I mean? You know how people used to sing and really exaggerate in that rasp, that nitty gritty that you just don't have anymore. Everything is so Tate McRae, baby whisper. I'm not even singing. Just it's very just kitten talk, singing. No one is really like singing anymore. And even the girls who are singing, it's giving you very clean, it's giving you very polished. No one's really putting grit on their songs anymore. So it is a very different sound. Not to mention this cover is very different from the Karma song that she released, what was it, like earlier this year or late last year, whenever it was. It is a very different sound, but I didn't necessarily think it sounded bad, but I could see how, that style is not for everyone. But, I don't know how I feel about all the hate. Like, obviously, if you put something out, you never know how it's going to be received, but it just goes to show how culture and society just really shifts. If this song were to come out in a different decade, I think it would be a total hit. But that's kind of what made me like it. I like that she's not trying to sound like Addison Rae. I like that she's not trying to sound like Charli XCX. Like I like that that's why I like JoJo. Because she's going to do her. But anyways, I'm giving y'all a little homework. Go watch the little video. Go listen to the little song. Let me know. Look, it is corny, cheesy, but that is her brand. Like, some people might describe it as corny, cheesy. I like it. The stuff that she puts out is always very happy. It's good vibes. And I mean, look, I can get behind that. I'm just saying, lighten up, people. Good Lord. Is it that serious? Like, and then in her comment section, you see a bunch of people like, oh, everything I know about her is against my will. Well, apparently, but if you stop commenting on her stuff or post about her, then the algorithm won't feed it to you. Why are we in 2025 when we're acting like engagement doesn't feed the algorithm? If you like something, if you watch it for longer than 3 seconds, especially if you leave a comment, then they're gonna keep sending you that stuff. I'm not saying everybody's got to be a diehard JoJo fan, but I'm just saying, be honest with yourself. Apparently you are a fan, or you got too much time on your hands. I mean, hey, one of the two. But anyways, that's that on that. JoJo, good luck to you. Baby, keep doing what you're doing. And she knows what she's doing. Let me tell you something. Y'all think JoJo's somewhere sitting in the corner crying? No. She's been in the game too long. She is a master marketer. She has perfected her brand. She's going to do what she wants to do, and she knows how to sell it. Even when she knows people are going to hate it or they're hating on her. Baby, Miss JoJo can't be shook, honey. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so let's move on. I do actually have a little bit of tea. So I have my thoughts and opinions on this. Feel free to leave a comment. Come find me on social media to continue on this conversation. So the word on the street is, okay, there's a little bit of drama in the podcast community, okay? It's a little bit of drama, which leads to a broader topic, okay? So Violet Chachki, okay, I think season 7 winner of Drag Race, okay? She has a podcast with Gottmik, I believe. And on their podcast, Violet was basically saying she has beef with the Bald and the Beautiful, which is Trixie and Katya, right? So, how could I make this as quick as possible to get to the point? Okay, so Trixie and Katya are planning to they're planning to review their season, which was season 7 of Drag Race, on their podcast. And they thought it would be a good idea to ask some of the other girls, or all of the other girls who were on season 7 with them, to send in a little voice note, to send in some thoughts and some opinions about the things that they remember about being on the show and blah, 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 right? So Violet's issue was not necessarily with doing it, but how she was asked. So Violet has a bone to pick with Trixie and Katya because they had their assistant reach out to Violet. The assistant reached out to Violet and was like, hey, can we get some voice notes or video message or blah, blah, blah for the review of season 7. And Violet was like, okay, what is this, and who do you think, why are you sending your assistant for me? We're friends, like we're good Judies, and you're sending your assistant to request content from me like I'm just some little Joe Schmo that you never met. Now, I see both sides of it. Now, do I think that sending your assistant to do assistant things is weird? No, in and of itself, no, it is not weird. But depending on the relationship you have with someone, if you're close, if there is a certain level of closeness, then yeah, I would expect for you to reach out. I guess it would kind of be like, if you have a family member, that, makes a great macaroni and cheese, and then you have your assistant call, your first cousin and say, oh yeah, so-and-so would love a dish of your macaroni and cheese. Please send it over by this date and time. We'll compensate you well. Especially if it's like a first cousin that you talk to every day. Baby, you could have just asked me for the macaroni and cheese. Like, what are we doing? So I don't know why or how that happened. Maybe Violet thinks that they're closer than they actually are. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know, when you are so busy and you just want to knock everyone out all at once. I don't know. But maybe it wasn't Trixie and Katya's idea. Maybe the producers were just like, they had this idea. Oh, let's reach out to these girls and then we'll update Trixie and Katya with the ideas that we have. I don't know. I can see it from both sides. Do I think it's that deep? No. I'd certainly have a conversation about it. We'll be like, girl, you could have just called, right? Like, why would you send your assistant? But also I could understand, like, that's kind of like, not a slap in the face, but it's kind of like, don't treat me just like some regular Like, it can come off kind of grand. So you think you're better than me? You think you're so fancy over there? Because you got your degrees and your little assistants? Like, what are we doing here? Like, don't show off. Like, are you showing off that you have assistants and stuff that they do your bidding for you? I don't know. So that's the word on the street. But so I want to know look, Trixie does not like confrontation. She will fold up in a ball. Now, Katya will pop off a little bit. So I'm interested to see what the response is going to be, if there's going to be one at all. And, but I guess if there's not one, and if Violet is not a part of the season 7, chime in on the review, then I guess we'll know how that all went down. But I want to see the girl. Look, we ain't got time for drama and all that, but sometimes a little bit of drama is a little bit cute. You know what I'm saying? With all that, I would love to end with something positive. I know, it's kind of a short one today, but look, the girls are booked and busy. So the last thing I want to discuss is something that I just don't understand how this could happen. I don't understand. Y'all tell me if this is something that has ever happened to you, or if you know anyone that this has happened to. So I was out here in the TikTok streets, as I do. I'm roaming around, and I come across a video of this girl who says that she went to the restaurant to pick up her takeout order, and came home, and it was only after she got all the way home and realized she had left the house with no pants, just a hoodie and some granny drawers. And I don't, do we not look in the mirror before we leave? Do we not feel the world around us and the elements? She said it was raining. You didn't feel the rain on your legs. You thought you was wearing shorts, or what is going on here? And to my even more surprise, I opened up the comments and there was people who are saying, yeah, I did that before. They were like, well, I never made it all the way to the store, but I got to the car. And there were some people who said they've made it all the way to places with no pants on. And I just don't understand, how is that even possible? First of all, that could never happen to me, because I'm looking in the mirror 13,000 times, no less, before I even walk out of the door. Now, I know not everyone is a glam queen, and not everyone is, to the nines and blah, blah, blah. But can you, let this be a PSA. Just do a quick glance at yourself. Even if you don't want to look in the mirror, maybe just, can we just booger, eye crusty, breath, pants, shoes? Can we do that? Can we just, the bare minimum? Because what this tells me is that this girl just rolled up off the couch and just left. Which seems kind of nasty to me. I don't know how early it was. I don't know how late it was. I don't know how long she laid around. But for you to have been in your drawers so long, did you forget that you didn't have pants? They just, I don't know. It's something about it's giving stinky. And then the other thing that's giving stinky is, so you got in your car with just drawers. Just, please spray your vehicle. And then you walked out, you didn't feel a draft. What this also tells me is that you must normally wear clothes that are so thin, or shorts that are so short, that you might as well be in drawers all the time anyway. Because there's the difference between having on underwear or shorts or something, like you just feel, you don't feel exposed. And how thick were these damn drawers? How thick were the drawers that you just thought you had on just full-blown shorts? Something, one and one ain't two over here. C ain't coming after A and B over here. It's getting stinky. I need to know, what do you wear on a normal everyday basis? Because that must be too thin. For that to have felt the same, I could see, I'll give you the BOTD, okay? I could see you walking out of the house and being like, oh, dang, wait. The rain's touching my legs, touching my thighs, it's touching too much. My butt feel a little floppy. And baby, I know I say she had on a hoodie, but it was not an oversized hoodie. We couldn't even be like, okay, maybe she had on a biker short or something, like if we saw her out in public. No. It was the hoodie was sitting right on the hips. So you walked into them folks' restaurant with your whole big old nasty tail, swinging past people's food, and she was like, I can't believe no one said anything. What on God's green? People probably could not believe their eyes, and they probably thought you were a complete lunatic. And, I know we're not supposed to use that word anymore, but that's probably what they probably thought, this woman is not well. And if I say something to her, she's going to snap on me. Or she just doesn't care about life. There's not nothing you could say to someone that's walking around in public in their drawers. What do you say? Because who would do that? You can't. What are you going to say? Hey, ma'am, did you know that you half naked up here? And then who wants that awkward interaction? You're going to embarrass this person. This person, like, one of two things are going to happen. If you see somebody who don't have pants on in public, you're going to go up to them and you're going to say, hey, did you realize you're not wearing pants today? Either they're going to be so embarrassed that they're going to have a meltdown, they're going to run out screaming and crying. It's going to be a complete fiasco show. Or they're going to be like, yeah, I know I'm naked, what's the tea? Boom, boom, and pow, pow, cow, cow, cow. Next thing you know, 5 o'clock news, you on a t-shirt. So I don't know how she did that. I hope that this is a learning lesson for everyone. Just check the mirror. But I don't know. Look, this is why you don't need to be leaving the house in your bonnets and sweatpants and your pajamas and stuff, because you think, oh, well, I could just go ahead. You're getting too comfortable. Because if you get to the place where you feel like, oh, I can't leave out of the house wearing my pajamas, wearing 3-day-old t-shirts and stuff, you're going to forget the last time you actually put real clothes on. Things are going to start to blend and blur. If you brushed your teeth in the morning, but you're about to leave, y'all don't brush your teeth again? Just to be sure. Just to be sure. A quick mirror check could have solved all of that. And what shoes did you put on? See, that's another thing. How would you just slid your foot into some old ratty ass thongs, didn't you? Some ratty old granny slippers, huh? Some Jordan slides, some Gucci slides. What did you slide your feet into? Because you didn't bend down and tie nothing. Because you would have saw, I ain't got no pants on. Child, y'all never cease to amaze me. I don't know how that happened. It made for a very funny story. But please, just, come on, y'all. Do just a quick mirror check. Okay? Lord have mercy. We're doing too much. Can you imagine being in that restaurant and you just sitting there with your family? And you're chowing down, you're eating your little roll, your salad, whatever you got. And then here comes some big old wine. I ain't got time for it. In front of my salad? No. Okay, anyways, so I think we're going to wrap it up there for today. And anyways, thank you guys so much for listening and joining in with me once again for another fabulous episode of Nellyville, the podcast. Come find me on all of my other social media. It is linked below wherever you're listening to this. It is a hop, skip, and a jump for you to be able to find all of my socials, all of the Etsy stores, all of the coloring books, all of the student study guide. It's all there. If you know what song I'm saying, leave it in the comments section down below, girl. But anyways, so also thank you to everyone who's already bought a coloring book. Baby, she's out here doing numbers, and I'm kind of gagged. Like, it's cute, I like it, but I'm kind of gagged that the girls are out here buying it and enjoying it. Like, what's good, Mary? Like, what? Anyways, I'm gonna run off now. I'm going to make sure I have on pants before I leave. Anyways, yeah, y'all take care. Be easy. And we'll be back next week. Ladies and gentlemen, bye.